Hello.
Sister, how are you doing? Lovely having you here.
Same here. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Welcome.
Sure.
So, tell me your story. You are you a truck driver or you own a trucking company or both?
Sure. I own a trucking company. I do not drive trucks. I got into it a few months ago. I started my company in June.
In
So I
June.
own two. Yes.
Okay. So what is it like and what's the income like? Is it $4,000 to $6,000 a week?
Okay. Thank you for mentioning that. So I own box trucks. I own two 26-foot box trucks. Typically, people use box trucks to move their households, move goods, move electronics. That type of income is for people who have commercial driver's licenses, CDL, that drive the big tractor trailers, the 18 wheelers, right? When you
Mm.
drive those trucks, you can make anywhere between 4 to 7,000. But driving a box truck, the ones that I own, what I pay my drivers is anywhere between 1,200 to 1,500 a week. But if you're an owner operator, meaning if you own your own box truck, you can make about upwards of 8,000 a week.
Upwards of 8,000 a
So
week.
as an owner, right, I have expenses. I got to pay salaries. I got to pay for gas. I got to pay for maintenance. So when you break it all down, there are a lot of expenses involved.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Yeah.
Sure.
Um What is your average monthly profit for you, the owner that doesn't drive the truck?
Uh, it varies. On the low end, on the low end, probably like 3, 4,000 a month.
After salaries and expenses.
After everything, after gas, salaries, insurance, I'm still paying a note on the trucks. You know, if the trucks break down, if they needs to be repaired, I got to fix that. So there are a lot of expenses involved. So on the low end, about 3 to 4,000 a month. It's supplemental income for me. I own, another business, so it's just something to supplement my income.
Now, how much do you need to start a trucking business in the USA?
Excellent question. So again, I purchased box trucks. So box trucks are totally different from the big 18 wheelers. So I'll speak from my perspective. Uh, to purchase a box truck, depending on how much you get it for, I got mine at the higher end because I was impatient. Um, so to answer your question, how much did it cost me per truck? I would say with the down payment, on insurance, with getting everything, um, getting the truck registered, I'd say about 25,000.
Hmm.
Is it 1,000? Yeah,
And you have two trucks.
I have two.
So that must have cost you about 50K.
Cost me a whole lot of money. Yes, it did.
Mm,
Yeah.
So on two trucks, if you're making a profit of about 8,000 a month, it will still take you about 6 months.
At the bare minimum, if everything goes
Seven,
well, no
eight.
accidents. Yes, yes.
Oh, wow. Now, what if you have an engine breakdown, for instance?
Fixing box trucks are very expensive, so you have to have money in your kitty, right? So just in case. I call it the oh shit fund, right? Oh
Mm,
shit, my truck breaks down. You have to have that. If you don't, you're hustling backwards.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
you have to have a just in case fund. Yeah. Because
So
here's
how
the
much do
thing.
you have in your just in case fund?
Excuse me?
How much do you keep in your just in case fund?
About 30,000.
That high?
Daddy Freeze, my first month on the road, I had to drive the roof of my truck up. That cost me $9,000.
Wow.
And the dude sent me a text talking about sorry about the inconvenience. You cost me $9,000 and my truck was grounded for 3 weeks. And this fool had the audacity to tell me, oh, sorry about the inconvenience. I lost a friend. The person who referred me to him, we don't speak anymore. Yes. And I've known her for over 20 years. We don't speak.
Because of the truck driver.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Serious
Oh, wow.
business. I'm knocking around.
Ooh,
No.
swear words, swear words.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not playing around. My apologies. Sorry.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
so you really have to stay on top of things for sure.
Mm. Now, what qualifications do you need to drive a truck? Should
Okay,
you?
wonderful. Wonderful. So, box trucks, you just need a regular driver's license, right? But the big tractor trailers, you need a commercial driver's license, a CDL. CDLs are very expensive to acquire. That's why everyone doesn't have one. You got to go through training. It's very expensive. So most people who want to drive trucks, they drive the box trucks, which what I own.
Have you ever driven your truck before?
No,
Okay, okay. I don't
I'm
mean
scared. I don't want to mess it up.
from one place to the other.
Excuse me.
Have you ever taken it from one place to the other? Maybe picked it up from a.
I have not. I have never driven my truck. No, I get my drivers to do that.
Now, let me ask you a question. What if your
Sure.
driver, for instance, wants to play a fast one on you? How do you monitor the work they're doing? In Nigeria, they'll carry your work and carry another person's work and then be doing their own and your own at the same time.
Exactly. So here's the thing. So two things. I have a dispatcher who's my saving grace in my business. He's basically my eyes and ears on the streets, right? So he dispatches works to my drivers. He communicates with them, daily, hourly, as needed. I also have work phones. And on the work phones, there's a GPS. So I could wake up, look on my phone, I don't know where my truck is, anywhere in the country. That work phone has to be on, has to be charged. It's an iPhone. I have 2 iPhones for each truck. That has to be on
And
at all times.
expenses that have to be factored into the business. What kind of iPhone?
Bingo. The newest one. I got the latest. Yeah.
That's the iPhone 14.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Because here's the reason why. Another reason why is that with the iPhone, when they pick up deliveries, they have to send, in order for me to get paid on the load, they have to send me the bill of lading as proof of delivery. So the image has to be clear. If the image isn't clear, if I send my factoring company, the factoring company pays on your loads. If the factoring company can't read it, I don't get paid on that load. So the iPhones yes, it's happened to me. I've lost thousands of dollars because of that. So the iPhone takes clear images and sends over the image as a PDF.
Oh.
That's why all my drivers have iPhones that I purchased. So for example, if my driver says that I got Jason a load going from New Jersey to Tennessee, right? He'll send me the paperwork for the job, and I can see exactly where the driver's driving, literally step by step where he's driving with the GPS tracking device on the phone. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, what state are you in? What state
What
in
state
America?
do I live in?
Yes.
Yeah, I live in Maryland, very close to DC.
Okay. Now, imagine from Maryland, how far do your box trucks go?
Great question. Yeah, great question. So my trucks go up and down the East Coast, from as far as New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, to as far south as South Carolina. Then the furthest west they go to is about Illinois, Indiana. We don't go out to California.
Why?
Because it's too much. The gas is ridiculous. It's just not worth the money. It's not worth the money. So the furthest west we go is Indiana. The furthest south we go is South Carolina. The furthest north we go is Maine.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. 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 Now, would you charge the same thing for what does distance matter in your charges?
Okay,
For
so
instance,
here's how we do it. Here's how we do it. So my dispatcher goes on a load board and he looks for loads for my trucks. So the price is already set. So it's just a matter of whether we want to take the load or not. So we just factor in, is it worth us going to New Jersey from DC? That's about 300 miles. If they're paying $800, it's not bad. But if they're only paying $200, when you factor in the mileage in the gas, it doesn't make sense. Like, you shouldn't be getting paid $250 on a 300-mile load. That makes no sense. What you're getting on the load should be at least 2 to 3 times more than the mileage. Yeah, yeah.
So for a
Because gas is expensive.
200-mile job, you should get paid at least $600.
Exactly. At the bare minimum.
Okay, so the box trucks are called the semis, right?
No.
The semis are the long one, 10 to 7.
Exactly.
Why
Yes.
why don't you own those?
Because those are very expensive.
How much are they?
Well, here's the thing. So the tractor trailer, you have the trailer, which is the front part of the truck, and then you have the trailer that hauls. That's the back part of the truck. So you can buy both at the same time, or buy one or the other. Buying a tractor, they go for by themselves $60,000. Those have sleepers in them, where the drivers sleep in the trucks. Trailers, 53-foot. That's pretty much the minimum length. 48 to 53 feet long. They go for, don't quote me on this, I'm not really sure, but they can go for anywhere between 20, I think 20 to 30,000. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too familiar with the big trucks, but either way, they're super expensive to maintain. So I said, nah. Plus, you have to have drivers who have CDLs. So because they're rare, they're hard to get. You don't have a lot of drivers who are unemployed with CDLs, because you can always get a job like that making good money. So it's just easier to find drivers for box trucks as opposed to the big rigs, the 18 wheelers.
Thank you so much. Now, let me ask you, what do you
Sure.
think? A nurse or a truck driver, who makes more money?
Well, here's the thing. They both make if you own your own box truck, if you're an owner-operator, they make about the same. They can make a good 6-figure salary a year, because nurses make good money with working overtime. So with overtime, that's what brings them to $100,000 a year, over $100,000 a year. If you're an owner-operator in a box truck, you can pull in $7,000 a week, $8,000 a week, because you own it, as opposed to working for somebody else. You got to really hustle. So, yeah.
All right, sis. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Much sense. I totally enjoyed it.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sure.
Can I say one more thing? So the reason why I wanted to talk to you was, my mother told me when you talked to that truck driver that he said he's driven drunk before. Did he say that?
I'm not sure. I don't want to put him in trouble, but he said something around those lines.
Because here's the thing. I had to fire a driver because he got pulled over on the New Jersey Turnpike. So he was sweating bullets. So he confessed to my dispatcher that he had just smoked some weed in the parking lot, and he had warrants out for his arrest. So if the police had administered a drug test. They would have impounded my truck. I would have lost my ability to operate commercial vehicles, and they would have arrested him. That would have been the end of my business. That would have been the end of my little business. I'm trying to tell you. So I had to, my dispatcher fired him for me. I didn't have to say anything to him. He fired him for me. So when I heard that, that's what made me want to come on here and talk to you. If that dude said that, or whoever else said that, they need to be fired. They don't need to be operating an 18-wheeler because you have the capacity to kill somebody, okay, under the influence of something. That's a no-no. And him having a CDL, he should know better. He should know better. So for him to even, whether he did, whether he didn't, no. If you want to be a truck driver, I make my drivers sign contracts. You cannot be under the influence of weed, alcohol, anything operating my trucks. If you are, that's grounds for termination. I even make them sign an equipment liability agreement, meaning if you mess my truck up, I'm taking it out of your pay. It's real simple. Because what they'll do is they'll mess your trucks up, and they don't want to pay. You signed an agreement, you had it notarized, and if you mess my truck up, you already know it's coming out of your check every week until it's paid off. Real simple.
Thank you so much for this. It's been so educating. Thank you so much, my sister.
Not a problem. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Wow. That was quite something. I learned a lot today.